There be light, and there was light. Words of the said God, Mother Eve, and we are talking about crucifixion once more. Yes, okay. So I've done a few videos on crucifixion, beginning, and sacrifice, and we can see from the numbers here the common factor between these three words. And funny that I am discovering more and more the magic of number 3. And yeah, these are 3 words that we could say is very pinnacle in the scriptures. The crucifixion, of course, is the bedrock of Christianity, we would say, in the sense that Christ had risen from the grave. The sacrifice, likewise. Then we have, the genesis of what the whole crux of the matter is. So the crux of the matter is that Adam and Eve, of course, had eaten of the forbidden fruit. And we see, of course, Christ had to come to perform this sacrifice. This 11 here is denoting Jesus. And of course, we know a lot about 3, perhaps the 3rd hour, or and 9 has showed up quite a lot. But these are the numbers here. But that is not without Mother Eve's signature here. The word beginning, of course, in fact, I have done a video, about 3 videos on beginning. In the beginning, if you see anything about beginning with Crimea Queen, that's what we are talking about. And it's really here we see how the serpent has been going in and out. The word in and out, the word in, of course, we have 3 ins here, which again corresponds to number 3. So we have in here, we have in this way and in that way. So this is what I believe the story that we have been given is really about. The beginning that is always eternal. There is always a beginning. The beginning is that there are cycles with this beginning. So we see that, for instance, so far we have covered that there are 14 gods in Genesis, or we are of 14 gods. So the beginning gives us that information. There are 2 7s here. I am just really now capturing the essence of that. The word beginning in itself is 9. It equals 9. So in this beginning here, we have 2 9s. Although I can see that there really are 3 ins, but I mean the word in, but it's giving us 2, which is saying there are more than one. Well, there are 2 cycles in this beginning. So it's like saying where the beginning is, the end is there as well. So that's another cycle. But in the middle of these as well, of course, that gives us the 5, this 5, which is denoting the snake. The word snake actually it's the value for the word snake is 5. So we can see these 5s are here, and that means that Mother Eve as the snake is here in these upside down U's, which is 10. So we have 3 N's, which is 3 N's, which is 3U, if you like. And to say, well, it sounds like through you. Well, just the spirit of sound mind. And I kind of believe that is what John was talking about quite a bit in the Gospels when he spoke about the spirit of sound mind. Basically saying Mother Eve in this sense, but he's saying it's Christ, of course. And Christ and Mother Eve is really the same because they're the same numerical values as well. So I have not given you the spirit of fear, but there's the spirit of sound mind. Now there's the thing. I think the word fear actually means FEAR. I think it actually has this the value of 3. Now that is really amazing here to see 3 would be like this, because I have not given you the spirit of fear. And if we are doing this on numerical value, for instance, which is 1, 5, 6. Let's add these together. This is 10, this is 21. So 2 plus 1 is actually 2 plus 1 is 3. Now, I have not given you the spirit of 3 or 21. That concerns me in this sense, because 3 has been that number that is really, wow. Perhaps I have not given you this because you are that. I have not given you that spirit. I have not given you what you already have. It could be this, because why give someone what they already have? But let's see, sound mind, which I have done before, S-O-U-N-D, sound. So there is a sound as well, literally a sound. Okay, and of course Mother Eve is the S here, which is the serpent right there. So the sound mind, M-I-N-D. Let's look at this. So this is 1, 6, 3, 5, 4. Okay, so this is 9 and 9, 18 plus 1 is 19. So 19 is 10. 1 plus 9 is 10. So we've done this. And mind is 4, 9, 5, 4. Again, 9 plus 9 is 18. 19, 20, 22. Wow. So this is what we have here. So basically this text that I've just recited, because I've remembered it, I have not given you the spirit of fear, but I have given you the spirit of sound mind. Now there's one thing. This is again Mother Eve really plays the serpent, the in and out, and maybe that's why this word B-E-G is here as well. It's like begging an in and out. It's begging that kind of motion. There is the 7 here that's planted, but between these two 7s, we can see it's really about beginning and end. This is also end, and this is beginning, and this is, so basically between these two 7s, let's look at this word beginning. If we take away this beg, this B-E-G, which has a lot more to it, because in the middle of B-E-G is Mother Eve. Now I believe this B-E-G is already saying there are 2 sets of 7 gods, and in the middle of these 2 sets of 7 gods is where we find Mother Eve. The 14 gods that we have been talking about, which consist of the gods that created man in their image and likeness and so on, which consist of the called God, the called God, the cause God, not the curse God, because I've been looking for one of this word as well. The called God, the created God, and the caused God, the saw God, the set God, the set God, and the saw God, the moved God and the made God, the breathed God and the blessed God, the divided God, the formed God, the ended God, and the planted God. I'm not sure if I'm hoping that I have mentioned the 14 gods, but of course let's invite them in this presence as well. So begging here, this beg here is actually the word beg, of course, is to elicit. And we see that this is really saying, of course, this is the incubation here. This is the number 13 that we have been working with. This is B, but it's really the number 13, which I have just wiped off so we can see this. And we have Mother Eve in the middle. Of course, it's like Mother Eve's signature is there, and letting us know about the 7 gods here. So basically, here between this G again here, we see we have beginning and end. And on the other side, of course, where we are with the 7 God, gods, it's like really telling us between these two sevens that this is cycles of beginning and end. Or there are two cycles, we could say again, two cycles, because there's two beginnings, but Mother Eve is in the middle. These two cycles, of course, coincide with our life and death as well. I think the gods have just come with this information now. So the two cycles all consist of the motion of life and death as well. That is one way of looking at it. Now, what I was really seeing here is the spirit of sound mind. Now, of course, I was talking about the I have not given you the spirit of fear. So we see a lot of these scripture verses, fear the Lord and command and obey his commandments, and a lot of those things, a lot of those scriptures are there. But the word fear, as we see, and which has the word air in it, so perhaps our interpretation of the word fear really is well, it is because I'm looking at the face. It's about the face. The letter F is really about the face, and it's like saying the face, and then you have the air. So the word face or fear begins with the F, and then we've got the air attached to it. So that's a word for us to investigate a little bit more, but it's actually 3 in numerical values. And then we have I have given you the spirit. This is according to Christ or Mother Eve, the spirit of sound mind. Sound and mind together is really 5. So mind, of course, we have seen 22, which is the master number. I call it the second master number. And this is what the word master actually equals 22. M-A-S-T-E-R, which I'm not going to go into right now. But there's something that also comes to mind. It's like what I think the scripture is also really meaning, as I began saying this, perhaps what the message here with Mother Eve or Christ is saying, I have not given you the spirit of fear, meaning you already possess that. You already possess it, because we see that when creation, when Adam and Eve was created, so to speak, it was then God blessed them. So the word blessed, in fact, is wow, I get it. I get it. Because the blessed God and the divided God are the gods with the 3 numerical value. The blessed God and the... Oh, there we are. Because we are. This is Mother Eve really making her presence felt. This is Mother Eve really trying to, well, not trying, letting us know her makeup. So on here, for instance, where are the numbers now? Okay, so here we are. The divided God has a numerical value of 3. And it's no wonder, even here on this board, that you can see that I have circled this number here, because 3 has a numerical value of 11, which is the second word in Mother Eve's spell when she says, let there be light. So THREE is actually THERE. It's the same thing, but Mother Eve said, let there be light. Mother Eve was not saying, let 3 be light. Mother Eve was saying, let there be light. So there's a sort of order Mother Eve gives. So the number 3 right here. Wow. So this is Mother Eve. It's like Mother Eve didn't say, let 3 be light. she says, let there be light, because we're always talking about the Trinity. 3 is the Trinity, or it's the number of freedom in that sense, because it actually equals freedom. And it has a numerical value of 11, which means it has a numerical value of 2. But this is the thing Mother Eve is more or less is saying here, and this is the divided God, and the blessed God is also 3. So we see the 2 gods, which is number 9 here, and I've just, because this is the order they come in the scriptures, so 9 and 5 here. So basically 9 and 5, in this sense, the order that they come in, if we were to add this together, they come to 14, which is the 14 gods we are talking about. And the 14 gods, of course, are in our makeup, in our operations. This is what I have just said. Mother Eve is not giving us something that we already possess. It's like, this is why at one time in the scriptures, she says, when the God who blessed, this is coinciding very well with what I observed before, and where it says, and God blessed them. And then Mother Eve, because when you hear or when you read, and God said, this is when Mother Eve interjects and she says, behold, I have given you all fruits, or every, the word every, she is saying, I have given you everything. She's saying, I have given you everything, but the God who divided and the God who blessed actually have given you, it's like our nose hair in the middle of the 2 eyes, have given us a sense of what we feel is separation, or is to say that the 2 eyes, it's like they have a division, or they are less because they seem apart from each other, or something to that effect. Or as we says as well, the word bless has in it less, so there is a sort of division in those 2 words as well. However, even in the word divided, the IVE, the IVI, is to me is also Mother Eve in this word very clearly there, because that would be like EVE with those 2 eyes here in that sense. But what Mother Eve is saying, I have given you the spirit of sound mind. Sound mind is what we gain when we have activated the Kundalini. This is delicious, people. Get it, get it, get it. So Mother Eve is saying, behold, there we have this other thing as well, because I was looking at this 3, which is like the symbol of the Omega, meaning like the feminine, so I have been looking at the symbol. So basically, the Omega, which is end, like Mother Eve as well, is like saying you are the container, you are the womb, you are the waters, you are the waters. Now we have this number 3 here. Of course, I've always said that number 3 are like the 2 breasts. This is what denotes that part of the bee, of the bead of number 13, or the beehive, and so on. So we see in here this 3 plus 2, what 3 consists of. In this sense, we could say 3 plus 2 is 5, which is what Mother Eve really is, because it also is on the 5th entry in the scriptures right here. So Mother Eve is very much a part of this, I would say. Now, but Mother Eve is saying, I have not given you the spirit of this, meaning you already that, or you are the waters. So because the spirit is really, as we were told, the spirit is what stirred upon the face of the deep. The word spirit actually equals 10, which coincides once more with sound. So spirit, so let's remember this is sound. Now there is another, this is sound 10, but this is how Mother Eve works. Mother Eve is just, she's really like trying to help us see and understand the vibration. Okay, so the word spirit, S-P-I-R-I-T, of course, has all these. I have given you the spirit. This is what Mother Eve is really saying here. So basically we have 2, 9, 9, 9. There are 3 9s here. And this is 7, 1. Of course, this is 20. This would be 37. 3 plus 7 is 10. So spirit is 10, which was what, this is what it is about Mother Eve playing so many roles, where Mother Eve was the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the deep. Mother Eve was the deep waters. Of course, Mother Eve is the one. It almost, there's a thing that comes to mind. It's like Mother Eve was really sensing all the emotions in her, of course. Well, I don't know exactly how to explain this part to really say what I mean, but without sounding too gross. Okay, all right, but this is the spirit here, and of course we have seen sound is also 10, but this is what Mother Eve has done here. So spirit of sound mind is 5. Of course, Eve, the word Eve, E-V-E, is 5 plus 4 plus 5. This is also 10. So, sorry, this is 5. Because when we add this is 14. 1 plus 4 is 14. This is what I'm saying, that the 2 7s here is already telling us what the beginning consists of. The 2 7, the 2 sets, or the set of 7 gods. The 2 7s are, wow, let's say this again. The set of 7, the set of, okay, the set of 2 7s, the gods, okay, which are 14. All right, let's, so 1 plus 5, 1 plus, which is 22, meaning 22 is telling us there's double foundation here, because 2 is actually the foundation, like 20, and so it's again mind is like we have the word in the middle, which equals 5. IN is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5, and then we have these 2 at the end form that 9. So basically mind in itself is really telling us that 5 here, and these 2, which is 4 plus 4, which is 8. So this is 13. So mind is 13. So this is the number that we have been associating with God in a lot of the things we have been doing as well. God as 13. So God, or the mind, we could say, is God. And I know I have counted it like each, the way I first done it was 22, like the master number 22, but we see the word in because this is the message that is being conveyed here with these ins, to really pay attention to this, because we have been given the spirit of sound mind. Now, yes, let's see, this is on 24 minutes, so perhaps we're going to, perhaps we ought to bring this one to an end, but the main point here is to show, there's the other thing that we want to show. This is Mother Eve really trying to get us to be mindful, be thoughtful, because although the spirit of fear, the word fear equals 3, of course 3 is 11, and 11 is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. That's if we were to do the word 3. So we would have 2 plus 4, and this would be 6. So Mother Eve is really trying to say here, you already 6 because you're the Genesis. You're already of that makeup. So I'm not giving you the spirit of what you already consist here, basically. But for 10 as for 10 as in fear, Mother Eve is trying to show us the order of things in this sense. So the word 10 for sound mind, which is sound, this 10 actually, let's get rid of this pen. So for the word 10, we would have, for sound mind, this is 5 plus 5 plus 2, this is 12. Of course, 12 is that which Mother Eve, in her spell, the first spell, when she says, let there be light, and there was light, we have a numerical value of 12, and 12, of course, adding 12 together, 1 plus 2 is 3. So this is the order of things Mother Eve is really trying to show us here. So basically, I think there's the other thing Mother Eve is trying to say. I have given you sound, so do not fear. There is no need to fear. I have not given you the spirit of sound or spirit of fear, but sound mind. Sound. So she is really like telling us to pay attention, listen to the air, listen to the sound, listen. There is that Mother Eve saying, listen, just like in her 8 contracts. She's saying, let there be light. So she's saying, listen, let there be a firmament. Listen to the instructions. Listen to the commands. And if we were to do the numerical value for 22, 20 is actually 8 because it's 26, the word 20. And 2 is actually 2 is actually 4. So 4, which is 13, so 4. There we are. 8 plus 4 would be 12. Wow. This is really amazing. So, wow, this goes back to Mother Eve's spell of let there be light, and there was light. I started saying that without going through the motion. But this would be 3. This would be 3. So I'm taking back what I said about it being 6 or 5, that Mother Eve is saying, I have not given you what you already have. But here we are, 3, 3. Now that is, of course, Christ died at 33 years old of age. So this coincides. And this is why Christ said, don't you know you are the light of the earth? So all these are very much interrelated. I have not given you the spirit of fear, meaning fear. And actually, Mother Eve is just being funny right now. This is the thing of fear. Of fear. The word of fear would also be 33. But however, 33. And now she says, but the spirit of sound mind. I have given you the spirit of sound mind. It would be interesting to get the other words around this. But so we have 12 here. And so sound or mind is giving us 3. And sound is giving us 3 also. So adding this together, we have 6. And that's what Mother Eve does, because there's like sound, like the word round. And this is what Mother Eve is trying to get us to understand her makeup. Her makeup. I have given you this. I have given you that. So we have 33. And of course, 3 plus 3 is 6. If we did the spirit again, it would be 1. Spirit of, I have not given you the spirit of is 3. Spirit of, let's just do this. Spirit is 1, which is 10, and of is 3, and fear is 3. I have not given you the spirit of fear. Okay, that's of, let's see, OF, this is 6, 6. Yeah, 6 plus 6 is 12, so that's correct. Okay, so I have not given you this spirit. Now there's the 7. This would be 1 in essence. But basically, Mother Eve, there's what it is. Because the word I have not. There's the whole thing. Now, there's another thing that I am really drawing some reference on now. Is that the word not, I have not given you. This is the game that is going on right now. Because this I have not. This is why it is said the brain does not register the word not, because not is nothing. We know not is nothing in essence, that we have been programmed that way. So if you say don't do this, you might as well say do it, because the word do is actually to perform, and well, there's a do not. Yes, so you say don't, but if you say do not, you are actually saying do, because this is already in essence what you are saying. This is more or less contradicting this to the brain. So the brain is taking this command and saying do, and it is cancelling this not. So that's why we are learning Mother Eve, because Mother Eve is the wow, I have not given you the spirit of fear. This is the thing, Mother. So should we say Mother Eve is saying, I have given you the spirit of fear, meaning this is really something of fear, but of sound mind. Okay, but so we could also say that, because we see fear, spirit of fear. Oh, this is really, of fear would be 33, and we have sound mind is also 33. But Mother Eve, I think, here is teaching us to refrain from that word not. Because, of course, the serpent don't want to be in a knot. Because when you have that knot, you are not free. You are not free. Wow. The knot, if the serpent is tied up into a knot, it is not free. So I have not given you the spirit of free. I have not. Spirit of free. So basically, the spirit of free is freedom. This is the word that Mother Eve is teaching us to refrain from in our vocabulary, in the sense of saying what we want or what we ought to know or be, do or have. And it is 33, which coincide with Jesus Christ being crucified at the age of 33. It's not. It's, oh, is it or not? I'm going to really, in fact, but we have seen the correlation with spirit of sound mind, which is 5. Oh, there's another thing as well, because the spirit of sound mind, which we have added to 5, when we do the numerical value for the word 5, F-I-V-E, which has Mother Eve. So this is why Mother Eve is really letting us know she's right there. Her presence is there. I know it is not EVE, but this is Mother Eve right here. The face of Eve is here right now. So Mother Eve is letting us know 5, 4, 9, 6. So basically 9 plus 9, okay, 18, 19, 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. So by us paying attention to the spirit of fear, we discover not only Mother Eve, but we already know that we are 6, the number of man. We discover ourselves through our mother, Mother Eve, right there, because Mother Eve is 5, or the Christ spirit, as we also learn when we do the numerical value for the word Christ, Christ, which is 389912. Adding this together, this is 20, 31, 32. 32. 3 plus 2 is 5. So we see that when Mother Eve says, I have not given you the spirit of, this is the language. That is what has been trapped. That's where we have been trapped. Basically, when Mother Eve says, I have not given you, she's not, let's put it this way, I have not. The word not I have done is 5, 6, 2. When we do this numerical value, we have, this gives us 11, 12, 13. I have not, and 13 is actually 8. So basically, I have not, I have not. This is why the 8 is like a knot right here. I have not given you. So the absence of not in this sense, we know it's 8. Or Mother Eve is like saying, I have 8, the spirit of fear, you could say, or but sound mind. It's just, if we were to substitute this, for instance, we would say, I have 8. Mother Eve is probably telling us, I have 8, just like we have here. Mother Eve is saying, I have 8 right here. The word have, of course, I have 8. The word 8 is equals 8 and is in the mouth. And of course, I have, actually, we have an I here, which has the numerical value of 9. The word have also is 9. But this is the message Mother Eve is probably saying right here, I have 8. I have not given you the spirit. Given is like given as well. Is, of course, has Eve in it, Give. Okay, so it's given you the spirit of sound mind. So the word not is that which we have been using to collapse information in our mind. We not certain information, we restrict ourselves by using that not, by using the 8, which is really in essence a 0. It is nothing. That's where things go back onto themselves. So I have not the spirit of fear, meaning I have not the spirit of fear, given the spirit of fear. Wow. Okay, we'll revisit this one. We'll certainly revisit this one, because Mother Eve is certainly giving us a message right there. And so I really was hoping that this would be much shorter. But so I have not given you. Let's do Given. So we have Eve here as well. I have not given you the spirit of fear, but the spirit of sound mind. So we see here, Mother Eve is in this word given as well. Like I had said, she, of course, Mother Eve is she with the S. Mother Eve says, behold, I have given you all fruit-bearing trees. This is where when the blessed God had blessed man, Mother Eve says, okay, really, I know there's a blessing there, but remember, I have given you all things. So basically, when we experience what we feel as fear, which is number 3, that coincides with the blessed God and divided God, Mother Eve is saying, listen to the spirit of sound mind. Listen to the crunching of the ate in her, of the fruit that she ate in the mouth. Wow. So listen to this, the breaking of that 8. What happens when we break? This is why Christ also mentioned the word break when you break bread. And so basically we can see that there is a message that perhaps we need to be more mindful about the word not in here, because it seems that it is what complicates quite a lot in our minds, because we, by using the word not, like the 8 here, we restrict the rest of information around us. Something is not, it actually perhaps means it does not exist. Perhaps that's what it is, because something is not, it's supposed to be absent. So I have not given you the spirit of fear in that sense is absent, it's supposed to be absent, but the spirit of sound mind, which is 5, and that's the mouth. 5 is the mouth. The word mouth equals 5, and we have this, which is new, hair, N-E-W, and turned upside down is M-E-N. So I have given you men. Okay, I have given you men. That's Mother Eve. Okay, I'm going to end on this one here, but this is really to emphasize the point that numerology is what gives us the answers that we seek. Things are not as complicated in the sense that we because on one hand, oh, fear the Lord, and so on, another hand, oh, I have not given you the spirit of fear. Meaning, in this message I am getting is that we are everything. Mother Eve is everything. Whatever elements that we, or emotions that we display or we have exhibit, which is in essence the number 3 value as well, that is part of Mother Eve, in the sense of, because Mother Eve was the one who delegated the making of, or the contracts to the gods, the blessed God and the divided God, in, of course, with the other gods. So basically, Mother Eve is like, it's like, for instance, children, or children, for instance, would go back to their parents and ask for advice or something like that, because they have gone, they have experimented, and she's going back to, or we go back to the source, and or we go back to our grandparents and ask questions and say, and the grandparent is saying, well, you know, keep it simple. I have not given you that. This is something that you have this is something that you have made up. This is something that you have a facade or illusion you have created, but it's not to say that it didn't have its seed somewhere. Basically, I hope you get the essence of what I'm saying here. But we did the sound mind, and I just want to really point out again, the sound mind correlates perfectly. This is where Mother Eve says, I have given you the spirit of sound mind, given you the spirit. So these are words as well that carries more meaning. But here we see when, of course, the word let is just like sound, because it has the same numerical value of 10. So let there be light actually comes to, it adds up to 12, because this is 9 plus 3 is 12. And there we have another 9 plus 3. This is here, which is 2 plus 7 plus 2 plus 1 is also 12. So 12 plus 12 is 24. And this is where Mother Eve says, let there be light, and there was light. So in the New Testament, I think it is, when John speaks about, I have not given you the spirit of sound mind. I think it's John, but the spirit, I have not given you the spirit of fear, but the spirit of sound mind. There was an intelligence that understood the mathematical construct in Genesis chapter 1. They were linking everything back to the beginning right there. Hence the word beginning, because in it has the end. The letter at the end, in the middle of beginning, which has the end, actually equals end as well, because 5 is end. So we can see that Mother Eve was really trying to get us from this text to go back to the beginning of letting us know about this wonderful spell when she says, let there be light, and there was light. Because in those words has a powerful vibration that we are to listen to. In that text about the sound, that's an advice. I've given you the spirit of sound mind. Now she is telling us to speak the word, because by speaking the word we listen. And this is the serpent. Psst, psst, that's the serpent saying, listen, listen, let there be light, and there was light. And on this note, we've ended this presentation.